I'm looking for table groups that are showing me they're ready. They have their books out. Oh my gosh, Ravenclaw, 5 points. You guys are ready to go. You've got your heads down, ready to learn. Gryffindor, 5 points. Rockstar job. Love it, love it, love it. All right, boys and girls. Can anyone raise their hand and tell me what we were talking about yesterday? Anyone raise their hand and tell me what we were talking about yesterday in social studies? Pablo? What? The Northeast region, yes. But what were we talking about in the Northeast region? What were we talking about? Jackson? Population. What? Maps. Population maps. We were talking about population density, right? Right? We were talking about. Oh, boys and girls. Boys and girls. Boys and girls. I understand it's snack time. Some of you are munching on your snacks. We've got to stay focused still, okay? Close your books. So yesterday we talked about population density. Can anyone remind me what population density is? There is a hint. Ellen?
It's the measure of I forgot, but I know that it's the measure of something and it's the unit of people living in one area.
Yes, very good. So population density is. It's Miss Alexander's turn, okay? I don't want to have to keep stopping, boys and girls. When Miss Alexander's talking, that means she's talking, okay? All right, so population density is a measure of the average number of people living in one unit of area. So, for example, we could do the population density of Olathe. What if we compared population density of Olathe compared to population density of New York City?
Whoa.
Ooh. Would there be more people in Olathe, or would there be more people in New York City?
New York City.
Would there be more people in Olathe? Give me a 1 if you think that, or give me a 2 if you think there would be more people in New York City. We think Olathe has more people, or New York City has more people? All right. New York City's going to have more people, right? Remember, we talked a little bit about New York City yesterday. Pablo, I'm going to need you to focus, okay? We talked a little bit about New York City yesterday and how big it is. What were some of the things that population density affects? Anyone remember? Amanda?
Pollution.
Pollution. Bingo. Can anyone else tell me something else that population density affects? Collins?
Transportation.
What was that? Transportation. Yes, love it. Kaya, what's another thing?
Jobs.
Jobs. What's another thing? We got one more. Daisy.
Types of homes.
Types of homes. These are things that population density affects. Every single day. People every single day are affected by population density. What?
Seriously?
Yes, they are.
Why?
Why are they affected by population? Oh,
Really?
boys and girls, we don't want to have to keep stopping, okay? Okay, so we know population density affects a lot of different things. However, we need to learn a little bit more about those each individual subtopics we just talked about. Transportation, the living situations people have, jobs people have, and pollution, and how it really, really affects those things, okay? All right, so today what we're gonna do, you guys are gonna work in your table groups. Okay, all right?
No.
Miss Alexander has given you, Miss Alexander is talking at the moment, and I really would appreciate it if everyone was paying attention.
Yeah.
But I need to speak in a British accent, so you all pay attention.
Yeah.
Oh my gracious, okay, here we go. All right, ready? So, Miss Alexander is going to have you work in your table groups. I hope you're paying very, very close attention. In your table groups, you each are going to be assigned a different topic in the chapter. In lesson 5, I will tell you what page to turn to in just a moment. For now, Miss Alexander is going to hand out to each group a piece of paper that has a heading on it, a title, and it also tells you what page you're going to be reading about, okay? Now, for each subtopic, you and your group are going to read together. I don't mind if you want to partner, or if you want to read individually, or if you want to do a round robin read, that is totally fine as well. However, you all are going to read about your section, and you are going to make table anchor charts. You guys are going to be investigating all about each subgroup, okay? All right? Now, when we when we use anchor charts like we did last week, did I make you write in full sentences? No, you may write short facts, that is totally fine. However, I need you to write legibly. What does legibly mean? Jackson? Neatly. Very good. Because I need to be able to understand your handwriting. After, Levi. No, thank you, sir. After, you and your table group are going to present what you guys have discovered to the class. Capiche? Okay. So, I would like you first to all please open your textbooks to page 86, please. Boys and girls, voices should be off. You should be turning your page, opening your books to page 86. Remember, Miss Alexander only likes to give instructions once. If you aren't paying attention, unfortunately, you'll have to ask your partner. It's your time. Don't mind. Jackson's ready to go. I love that he's showing me he's ready to go. Isaac is almost ready to go. Esther is ready to go over here. Kaya is showing me she's ready to go. So right now, Miss Alexander is going to come around and pass out a piece of paper. Now, when we work as a team, does one person hog everything and do everything? No! We share, right? We need to work as a team, which means we need to communicate together and work together. Okay? Raven's on. Miss Alexander's turn. Alright. So, Miss Alexander's going to come around. She's going to give you your anchor chart. You guys are going to read through, and then you're going to go back and write facts. I'm going to give you about 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes to do this, and then we're going to share. Okay? And at the top of your anchor chart tells you what page you're going to be reading about.
Can you please? Thank you. You got 86.
You know what? I want you guys to come back here with me. I want you guys to come back here with me.
I found an answer. She didn't find it.
Make sure you bring something to write with. Class. Yes. Class. Yes. Remember, your voice levels need to make sure that they're at a 2 or below. We don't want to get too loud. If it gets too loud, we'll have to bring it down to a 1, okay? All right. Slide to the right. No. Slide to the left. Just kidding. You know what slide to the left. Slide to the right. Okay. Back to the right. Bring it back. Okay. All right. So, I've already decided. All right. And if one of you sees something of interest, I want you to sit. I want you to just. Okay. All right. Remember, we're looking for facts about places. Okay. We're gonna read this right here. All right. Ready? Ready? Are you ready to go? Good. Make it knuckles. Ready to go? Ready to go? Ready to go? Ready to go? Okay, let's zone it. Ready? Here we go. Places to live. Population density. Mental people say we don't waste. One way it affects people is in the kinds of homes available. Cars make polluted air. In densely populated cities, many people live in apartments. Apartments are usually when you drive your car. Some apartment buildings are towering skyscrapers, while others are just Is there anything in those two paragraphs class, so you guys see the difference, right? Daisy, what do you see?
Okay, then we can do the card.
Many people live in apartment buildings. Okay. You want to write that? Can we talk about why do you live in an apartment building?
Good arrow.
If you live in a highly populated area, why might people live in apartment buildings?
No. This is a good arrow. Crazy people here.
Very good. Very good.
So when you first start, you don't like sit around with a giant house. You start living in cities.
I love it. Pablo, did you have something to say? Same thing as her. So people, a lot of people in highly populated areas do live in apartments or more apartments, stuff like that. Sometimes there's not enough room for everything, right? Things are a little bit more condensed. What does that mean? Things are a little bit more close together. Okay, all right. Lester, what do you think? You'll get a chance.
He's the writer, and me and him are the writer, thinker.
So first you need to read this.
I'm the thinker.
Read this?
I'm gonna think of
Okay, who's gonna read first?
Okay,
You can all read it.
the next one is,
You can all read it out loud, but you need to read this.
where's the
People live in cities.
Class. It's a little too loud in here. Bring it down a notch, okay? Thank you. Population density. And you can say population density. You can say aggressive people.
No, we're reading a bit at a time and take those facts of the bit that we read onto the page.
So,
And then we read another one.
Okay, so you guys have the house too. So if we went to New York City, we would probably live in an apartment or something. No, we'd all live separately. No, you would probably just live separately with your parents in your own apartment.
Maybe something that makes it
Different. Alright, here we go. We're gonna go ahead and breathe.
Any substance that makes air, water, or soil dirty or
Alright, population density.
any substance that makes air, water, or soil.
Alright, here we go.
In your book.
We're gonna start right here where it says many people. People like living in apartments. They may like having lots of food. They may also like living near shops and restaurants. Okay, now that's pretty interesting. So many people may like living in apartments. What do you have if you live in an apartment? You have a lot of what? Daisy? What about right now where you guys live? Do you guys have a lot of neighbors? Just right next door to each other? Nope. You guys are pretty close to each other? But are you so close to each other that you can hear each other like through the walls and you can walk upstairs? Like you have a house and you don't hear your family members walking up, right? Right? You live in an apartment building, you hear people right next to you, right? There's no space between your houses, right? So, let's see. So, if you live in an apartment building, does that mean you live closer down? Also affects where,
For long
say, affects where people, or what houses people live in, or what kind of
Jackson and Caleb fill you in on what you're doing.
People and pollution.
Okay,
Let me look at
housing, ahead and
I'm
do
a
it.
pen
Ready?
next.
We're gonna start right here. Very good. We're gonna start here.
It was a good idea.
Boys and girls. Class.
Yes.
I think you know what I'm gonna say. So I want you to fix the problem and show me that you guys know what I'm talking about. Okay? On the other hand, you can close to each other.
From another table.
In rural areas, many people live in houses. Many houses have doors where children can play. People can make more noise in houses that bother their neighbors. However, taking care of a house and yard is a lot of work. Houses have to be moms have to love. In the Northeast, people live in houses. So what else did we just learn about that? So we just learned that when you live in an apartment building, you have
You're right.
what? Esther?
Right on there.
How is that disgusting?
Yeah, what? No, that's when you live in a house, right? You have a yard, right? There's a lot of neighbors in an apartment building, right?
I found it.
You had one with you this morning. What did you do with that?
A lot of people in houses, right?
Is it in your desk now?
Is that something we can write maybe on our back? Yeah, Esther, do you want to write back?
Fewer people. Look, I have one too.
Many.
Water pollution, water is not safe, ocean.
Okay, so in small towns, but what about in big cities?
Parking is usually
So do you think in here you need to put that parking is expensive? Okay. Maybe you want to write that in big cities.
Or you have one in a house.
Okay, I like this.
Yard.
Sit down.
Can you do it with the yard?
Okay.
What can you do with the
Hey, what do you want to write?
Very good. What else do you need? What can you do with the yard? Put your 10 minutes. What else would you need?
I would think so, yeah.
Very good. What else do you
Right, so well, she's right in the fact, what would you like to do?
What about right? So back in the apartment. Right? Boys and girls, take about 3 or 4 more minutes and finish up your work, okay? So,
I said it like 3 times on the first one.
so if we have a lot of people in one area, are we going to have apartments or are we going to have houses? We're probably going to live in apartments, right? But if we live in a small town or a rural area, are we going to have houses or apartments? What's the difference between an apartment and a house? What are some different, how do we compare to a house? What are some different houses? Well, you still have to pay a bill. You still got to pay bills. No, you got to pay bills. What are the differences? What did we just talk about? What do you have with a house that you don't pay?
No.
Yard. What about Nathan? You have apartments. You have one of
No.
those right next door,
Second,
right?
third,
What would that cost? A lot of what? A lot of racket noise, right? And what about the house? You kind of have your own system in your head, right? So, right? Can you? Sometimes you can. Sometimes you don't. So,
In urban
areas, populated area, dense populated area means we've got a lot of people, right? More you're good. Our apartment building's gonna be really taller. Okay. Are you? Are you gonna have apartment buildings? Focus, get back to work. You've got about 3 more minutes. So, here's my other question. Do you think it's gonna be more expensive? Apartment buildings more expensive to live in?
The urban areas
What?
Why do you say apartment? If there's a lot of people living in a big city, do you think it's going to be hard to find a parking? If you have a lot of people living in a small area, would it be very hard to find somewhere? Would it maybe mean that it could be people might charge you more money? Things can be different prices. Houses can be really expensive, but it depends if you're rich or right? But sometimes living in a house, like in a big city,
Urban pollution is a big problem.
Take over there. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it here in a minute. Good. You guys have about 1 more minute left to finish up. 20 more minutes. Then we're going to talk. Then we're going to discuss.
Population density also affects
you. Hey boys, sharpen your pencil and come back and have a seat.
Why didn't you sharpen your pencil? We're not working on it.
I don't need you to cut your finger. Let me see that.
You can finish it. Just attach it in it.
Gracious day.
Why are you bleeding?
The noises need to stop, please.
I don't know what happened. That's the sharpener that actually sharpens it.
That's okay, we'll fix it.
We'll fix it later. No, that's what we'll go out.
Go ahead and finish up the sentence you're writing.
No, it was like that.
Wingardium
Leviosa.
Oh my goodness, I only had a few people. Wingardium
Leviosa.
Oh, that means we'll quiet down our voices a little. We'll quiet down our voices. Oh my gracious. That means we should be sitting. Oh. You guys did a really good job. I'm pretty proud of you. I could hear some really good discussion. I know I was over here, but I could hear some really good discussion going on. Kobe, make sure. So, boys and girls, now we're going to go around and present what we have found out about our different topics that we're about. Oh, wait.
I want to do it. He's waiting.
So, we're going to go around and we're going to present. And I want you guys to make sure when we present something, do we talk? No, we project our voice right so everyone else can hear, correct? Oh, no, thank you.
Bless you.
Miss Alexander, does everyone in the group need to talk?
No, not everyone in the group needs to talk. If you don't want to, you don't have to, okay? That is A-okay if you don't want to. All right? If one person would like to share it, that's okay. All right? If 2 or 3 of you guys want to share it, that's okay too, okay? We need to make sure we're talking loud enough, okay? So we're going to go ahead and start over here. I want you guys, as we go around, I want you to tell us all what your topic was that you were reading about, okay? And then I want you to list us your facts, okay? Oh, Slytherin, I would like you guys to start. You want to stand up? You guys want to come over here? Boys and girls, we have friends that are presenting. So that means rental first.
Caleb. Caleb.
Riding a bike,
Oh wait, what's your topic?
getting around.
Getting around, okay. Go ahead and get
Riding
it.
a bike can be dangerous in big cities. Driving is the worst way of getting around in a big city. In small places, parking is free.
I'm sorry, what did you say? Could you say that last part one more time?
In small places, parking is free.
Very good. I like that. Careful, 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 careful. Stand up. Stand up. So, boys and girls, is getting around in a big city easy? No. It's very hard. What would you do? How do you get around a big city? Can you raise your hand and tell me? Alexis?
Cars.
Well, not cars really. Taxis. That's a good one. Collins with someone. Subways. Very good. What else can you do, Caleb?
You can use your legs.
You can use your legs and walk, right? Do you think it's expensive to own a car in a big city? If you agree and you say, yes, Miss Alexander, it's very expensive, give me a thumbs up. If you're like, no way, Miss Alexander, it's not, give me a thumbs down. You think it's expensive to own a car in a big city? Give me a thumbs up. You don't think it is? Give me a thumbs down. You don't think it is? It can be kind of expensive getting around a big city. You own a car, where do you park your car? There's no streets really, right? Because there's taxis and everything going on in the streets, right? It can be a little expensive. What about if you travel from one city to another city? Do you guys ever have to travel in a car and you guys have to pay a toll?
Yeah.
Toll is like a certain amount of money that you have to pay when you go from one place to another. It's usually between, I think it's like a border. There's a bunch of different, but there's like fees here in Kansas are a little bit cheaper than if you went to New York City and had to pay a toll. Do you guys think that in smaller towns it's easier to get around in with cars? Think it's okay to have a car in a smaller town? Yeah, it is. Do you think you can do more with transportation in a bigger city or in a smaller city? Smaller city. Why do you say that? Pablo?
Because there's less people.
Less people. Do you guys think it's easier to travel in a smaller city?
Yes.
Yes? Very good. I like it. Awesome. You guys have a seat for me? And poof. Do you guys want to come up and present for me, please? And we're using our listening ears, correct? And don't forget to tell me what your topic is. And project your voice nice and loud so we all can hear. Go ahead and start whenever.
The topic is people and pollution. When we toss straws on the ground, we pollute. Pollution is
any substance that makes air, water, or soil dirty or unsafe to use.
rural areas tend to have the cleanest air, and big cities have dirty air. Without
What was
cars,
that? Hold on one more time, Kat. Could you repeat your sentence a little louder?
rural areas tend to have the cleanest air, and big cities only have dirty air.
Very nice.
Without cars or homes, the air would be very clean.
When we drive cars, it pollutes the air.
In urban areas, pollution can be a big problem. Pollution destiny affects the level of pollution.
Keep going.
That's it.
That's it? Okay. So, question for you. How can we... So, pollution's a really big problem, right? Yes. How do we solve that problem? Does anyone know how we can solve that problem? What can we do for our environment that we can help to not pollute?
Yeah.
Kaya?
By not using cars.
Or cars that use gas and stuff, like electric cars instead? Right? That's a good one. Kobe, what do you have? Well, let's think about that. We're talking about pollution, right?
If we're gonna
If we
keep playing
can't handle-
around up there, I'm gonna make you stand on the ground.
Yeah. it, then we won't do this again. It's your choice. Jackson.
Don't use cars and just like ride on like skateboards, scooters, all the.
What about if Miss Alexander takes this piece of plastic here and I throw it away? Or if I take these papers and I put them in the trash can, where else could I put them? I can recycle. Recycling is a great way to help, right? Very good. You guys have a seat. Good job. Gryffindor, would you like to go, please? Falcons. Oh, my gracious. Falcons. We have another group up that's presenting, so we need to give them our undivided attention, which means we should have nothing in our hands. Thank you. Oh, Gryffindor, I'm sorry. We gotta wait. Would you guys like to go ahead and present? Let us know what you're telling us about. Go ahead and go.
Making a living. Small towns often have a few businesses. Population density also affects the kind people work. Many people who live in a city work in offices. Many people move to cities for jobs.
What you guys have? Is that it? Good job. Very good job, guys. So, question for you. So, we live in Olathe, Kansas. Are we in a really big city? No, we really aren't. But if we went to New York City, that's a pretty big city, right?
Yes.
So, are jobs in New York City going to be harder to find compared to jobs here in Olathe, Kansas? Why do you say that? Can anyone tell me why they think that jobs might be harder to find in a big city, Amanda?
Because there's less people and there's lots of people over there, so there's many jobs that are taken where there are not some people and there's more jobs that are hired.
Very good. So, in higher populated areas or higher density, or where they have more population density, it might be harder to find jobs because there's more people, right? Right?
Yes.
And where do people in cities usually work? Do they work on a farm?
No.
No, I think where do they work? Offices, right? What about people here in Olathe or in Kansas? We have a lot of people that do what? Caleb?
They work at the dollar store.
Pablo?
Clean it's like when she cleans where the dealerships of cars.
What do a lot of people do and they drive big green things that they plow the ground with? Jackson? Farmers. There's a lot of farmers here, right? There's a lot of farmers here in Kansas, right? Very good. All right, good job, Gryffindor. And last but not least, Ravenclaw. Yes. Oh, boys and girls, we should have as much chit chatter while we're transitioning.
So it's going to be harder to find a job, but it's going to make a lot more money.
All right. Ravenclaw, what do you got for us? Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. We have some friends talking.
I can't hear them.
I know. I can't either.
Yeah. Places to live. Many people live in apartments.
Go ahead and read it.
Population density affects what kind of housing people live in. In small towns,
Read it. You got it. Which one? Which one? In small town. Rural. Oh, slow down.
in rural areas, many people live in houses.
Very good. So in small towns and rural areas, a lot of people live in houses. Where do you guys live? Does anyone live in a house? Alexander lives in a house.
Oh, I live in an apartment.
Or a duplex. Some of us live in an
No.
apartment. Miss Alexander lived in an apartment before. Now, when we go to big cities, people usually live in apartments. Why is that? Collins?
Because there's not going to be very much grass to make the lawns. So they have to make buildings for lots of people.
Yeah. And there's less space, right? When they're in big cities. So when you live in a place that's got a lot of people, you can't really build a bunch of individual homes. So instead of building out and expanding, which way do they build? Up. Now, what's one of the downfalls of living in an apartment complex in a really big city? Amy? And what do you have to deal with? Noise. You have to deal with noise. Very good. Unless you live on top floor, yes.
Yeah.
Here's my one question for you. I want you to show me on your hands a 1 if you agree, or 2 if you disagree. Do you think it is more expensive to live in an apartment in New York City or an apartment in a rural area?
What's a rural area?
Rural area is kind of like where we live. So we're not in a big city, right? There's a little bit more space for us. What?
It's like a farm area.
Yeah, yeah.
Neighborhoods,
Yeah.
not like a
Things
lot
are
of
more
space.
spread out, right? Things are more spread out.
Which one's more expensive?
Do we think it's more expensive to live in an apartment like in New York City, or do we think it's more expensive to live like an apartment if Miss Alexander lived in an apartment in Olathe, Kansas? Is it more expensive in New York City or in Olathe, Kansas? Which one do you think? Give me a 1 if you think New York City is more expensive, or give me a 2 if you think Olathe would be more expensive. Suburban's like outside. Suburban rural area. Yeah. So believe it or not, Miss Alexander's best friend actually lived in New York City, and her apartment that she lived in was 2 times more expensive to live in New York City than it was for Miss Alexander to live in Lawrence, Kansas.
2 times?
Yeah, 2 times.
That's
2 times. Could anyone raise their hand and predict maybe why it would be more expensive to live in an apartment in New York City? Amanda, I love how you raise your hand quietly. What do you have to say, sweetheart?
Because there's more people.
There's more people. Very good. If you have more people, things are going to be in higher demand, right? People are going to be looking for jobs constantly, places to live, right? Right? So things can be a little bit more pricey. Exactly. You guys did awesome. Ravenclaw, you want to grab a seat for me?
Lunchtime?
It's almost lunchtime. However, have a seat. Have a seat.
It's
Glass glass.
Yes, yes.
And I fully expect to hear everyone say, yes, yes, glass glass.
Yes,
There we go.
Wait, but if she's talking in a British accent, how should you respond?
Exactly.
In a British accent, that's what I do.
British accent. Boys and girls. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it back. Right now, we do have lunch in about 6 or 7 minutes. So here's the deal. Hold on. Not getting away that easy. Miss Alexander, you're terrible. I know, I am. So, well, we just talked a lot about population density and how it affects us and how we live every day, right? So, boys and girls, I have a cause and effect worksheet for you guys, okay? I know, it's the worst thing ever. So, nope. You need to quit talking. Miss Alexander has the floor. And remember, I only like to give instructions once. First, you're going to write your name and your number on your paper. Capiche? Posh. Step 2, you're going to turn to page 86 in your textbook, and you're going to begin on that page. Now, some of you guys are going to be experts in certain sections because we just you guys worked in your groups to learn about the different stuff in each section, okay? So what you guys are going to do, there's a cause. So, you guys have all seen a cause and effect worksheet, correct? You guys have all seen a cause and effect worksheet? Okay, very good. I hope we're paying attention because I'm only giving instructions once. So our cause, population density, affects people's lives in many ways, okay? Now, what's the effect that it has on places that people live? What's the effect it has on making a living? What's the effect it has on people getting around? And what's the effect it has on people in pollution? I want you guys to tell me, in each box, the effect it has on each different thing. And I've got the titles, and guess what? It's what we just talked about right now. It's in your book. Alright, starts on page 86. So, boys and girls, you need to write 3 things in each box. I know the boxes aren't very big, but guess what? You don't have to write full sentences. You can write in fact form, okay? Alright?
Can we draw?
You can draw a picture if you want to, yeah. But you still have to write your facts, okay? Alright? Sound good? Wait, like I said. Like I said, we do have lunch here in just a minute, so I'm gonna pass these out. Go ahead and start on it, and then I'll tell you when we're gonna line up, okay? Alright? Who is my lunch card passer outer?
That's
Amanda, you want to do that for me? Actually, who's my paper passer outer? Daisy? Would you pass out one to each person, please? I don't know what's right here.
no, Esther's the No, Daisy's the one who does this. That, and then isn't it? No, I do that. Oh. Thank you. That was so fun. You're like, just them in the middle.
Not right down here. She don't get it. She don't get it. Not yet. Jackson, cut it. No, just you. Just you. You don't need to bring anything.
Are you in trouble?
No, you. Miss Amanda, will you come here right quick too? Amanda, will you come here quick too? I know you're passing this out. Daisy, keep passing it. Here. Right. Here.
Say what?
Alexis, no. I want you guys to do
Place to live.
about finding fun things too. I want you guys to tell me how much you've been seeing how it affects people in different areas. You have to stop part? Yep. I know, right? Terrible. You're terrible.
You're not that terrible.
Brittany, Alexis, Nathan, and Esther, do you guys want to come back here with me? Oh, that's fine. Actually, boys and girls, class.
Yes.
Class.
Yes.
Sorry, I did not hear enough. Response. Class.
Yes.
There we go. It is actually time for lunch, so I need you. Oh my goodness gracious! Oh dear golly gee. I need you to stop what you're doing. Oh, voices should be off. I'll wait patiently. It's your lunchtime, not mine. It's your lunchtime, not mine. I want you to put your paper in your book, close your book, and leave it on the corner of your desk. I'm looking for the first group to show me they're ready to go for lunch with their lunch cards, heads down on the table, and their books closed.